So happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Shall we toast to today?
Cheers.
Clink.
Clink.
Mm,
Mm. Yes,
so
it's
good.
Sunday. It's time for a mimosa.
Yeah, so good. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about green?
Well, hello. My name is Franco, and I am owner and head creative at Green Fresh Florals and Plants. We have been in business for 13 years. At our most recent location, we've been there for 11 years. We are a full-service retail flower and plant shop. I know they're very far and few between nowadays,
Yeah,
but
that's for sure.
we have 3,000 square foot of everything from beautiful flowers, tons of houseplants, pottery, ceramics, where on location we have a design house where our designers work, and then I have a very large working warehouse where we do events and weddings. And it made me pause for a second thinking, oh wait, I don't have any. That's another conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How
Have you been through the whole COVID thing?
Well, I actually opened up my business in the location we're in 2008, during kind of the last largest kind of disaster we had. That one was financial disaster.
Yeah, for sure.
This one still also feels financial. And what I did back then is I changed my business, and I'm doing it again. And survival is about changing, manipulating to the times,
Yeah.
and to the environment that we're in, and not allowing yourself to branch out into other areas that may seem scary, but sometimes are essential for survival. So we survived 2008. I'm going to survive this, and I feel very confident about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart business too. And I think, you've been in the business long enough, you're successful. But yeah, to be able to sort of navigate through hard times definitely speaks volumes of the kind of business person you are.
Well, thank you. Thanks. Yeah, I have had a lot of experience. I've been in the industry since I was 19, some 30 something years ago. Okay, I'm very proud of it. I've been in the industry for 31 years. But people always ask me, like, well, how did you get into flowers? I don't think I ever had a choice.
Yeah.
I think it was predestined for me. I know I'm going to get a little astrological here on you, but I was born in May under the sign of Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign. And in May, where I was born, is the height of spring. So my sign and when I was born represents everything growing, living, Mother Earth producing new growth. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I've always kind of had that connection to plants and flowers. And then I had fortunate enough to have a grandmother.
Flora, right?
Everything. Yes. Her name is Flora. Showed me everything about plants and flowers. And I think back on this photograph of me literally in diapers in her garden, digging around in the dirt. So I kind of feel like I've always been in the industry, and this is my safe place. This is the place where I can grow, where I can find calm, where I can find peace from this crazy world. So, whether it be flowers or big, beautiful plants, it's my connection to feel grounded.
Yeah. Here's to Flora.
Oh, here's to Flora. Lucky enough, she was able to spend lots of time in the store with me before she passed away. And I could just see it on her face that she just loved what we were doing there.
Yeah.
She was doing things way back before they were popular, like cute little succulent gardens and terrariums and the whole green sustainable thing. I mean, I know what to do with my coffee grounds and chicken eggs because of her, you know? So
Oh,
it's, I'm very fortunate about that.
yeah. So what do you what inspires you?
Wow, what inspires me? Everything from a color palette that I'm seeing in fashion or interior design, to textures of a leaf or a flower, which also eventually translates into interior design. So I would say I'm really inspired by interior
Yeah.
design, color theory. I'm inspired by everything growing around me. Recently, this past week, I helped one of my designers work on a design where I wanted him to make it look like ferns were growing out of this container. So I said, you have to take a look about how ferns grow and where the tendrils come out, how everything spins. So I get all my inspiration from Mother Nature and kind of the world around me.
I love that you're essentially a teacher. You know,
Oh,
it's amazing. Yeah.
well, thank you. Thank you. I find inspiration in that too, is being
Yeah, for sure.
show and teach. Sometimes for me, it seems like the most obvious thing, but for other people, that light that goes off in their head is, it's amazing to see that.
Yeah.
I, you know, a little bit more about my backstory. I started working in a greenhouse when I was 18, and then literally started sweeping the floors in a flower shop when I was 19. And I had wonderful teachers around me.
Yeah.
I had people that had been in the industry 30 years ahead of me to
Yeah.
teach me. And um, sadly, over the last few years, either those businesses have gone away. A lot of my peers that I looked up to, or people I admired, have passed away,
Yeah.
whether from old age or from complications of AIDS. So I feel like it's kind of my mission to pay it forward.
Yeah.
As
Yeah. I'm sure you're a mentor to so many people. I know many designers, and they all say your name as one of the pioneers. Why
really,
are you so shocked at that?
I am. I am.
Well, you've been around so long and you've been so successful. Why wouldn't these young designers and business owners want to sort of emulate what you've had all these years? You know what I mean?
Well, that's interesting because, you know, in our conversation, we talked about the kind of trials and tribulations and
Yeah.
things that I come up against. And that's actually one of them. I didn't realize that. Thank you for sharing that with me. But
Yeah.
I sometimes feel like there's a little bit of ageism and sexism going on in the floral
Really?
industry. Um, you know, I'm, you know, older, gay man, um, and the industry now is filled with a lot of young, inspiring women, which is wonderful. But I'm not on the hashtag girl power team. You know, I can't, I don't have my girl squad to back me up. My
Yeah.
squad's gone. And so I have the challenge of a lot of times not having anyone to talk to about running brick and mortar retail business like I'm trying to do right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. They're
Because,
definitely far and few between, you know?
well, back to 2008, I think there
Yeah.
was a big culling of flower shops back then. And then what happened was the rise of Instagram and the rise of
Yeah.
floral designers, where anyone can take a great picture and post it on Instagram and get tons of likes. Whereas when I was coming up, your goal was to get some good chops, great design under your belt and open up your own shop. And that was a goal. Now the goals have changed, and it changes with every generation. But when I was coming up, my goal was to have a shop. And
Yeah.
I don't have anybody that has a lot of that goal anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of it is studio work, doing it for the likes, you know, the exposure. Whereas
Yeah.
when I was coming up, you were tested on your design chops and if you could turn this into a reality.
Yeah. Carlos, do you think that like you said Instagram, maybe Pinterest. Do you think social media is more of a hindrance or help to florists?
Oh, it's a double-edged sword because, like I said, anyone can take a great picture and get
Yeah,
lots of likes out of it. But I'm afraid so many young designers are doing one thing to get that like,
yeah,
one style to get that approval. And one thing I would hope that would change with this is that, especially right now, I would hope people, the younger crowd, are taking time to hone their skills, to be able to do different designs, different
yeah,
looks,
for
because
sure.
the real world, it's different out there.
Yeah,
You know, there's people that don't want a big pompous arrangement
mm-hmm.
and they want something that would fit on their coffee table and look lovely. So I would hope that there would be a change in kind of design skills. And I try to instill this with all my new young designers that I hire, that yes, you can do this look really good, but can you do X, Y, and Z?
Yeah,
And to have a full house of skills is not only helpful to me, but will help them as they progress and um, go on with their life. Because I tell them, what I'm teaching you now, you can go anywhere in the world and get a job like I did. When I was in my early 20s, I had a few years working in a flower shop. I moved to London and worked
yeah,
in London and Paris to train there. But because I had some skills, I could go and take that job anywhere I wanted to. So that's my goal with these kids nowadays that I
yeah.
train. You will leave me sometime, but I'm not leaving you empty handed. You've got something under your belt.
Well, what's interesting to me, with being an actual brick and mortar flower shop, it is, completely different than being an event designer. Um, I mean, it's like day and night. And we saw a lot of that, with COVID and, all of the events going away.
One.
So, the young designers had to choose, okay, do I just sit back or do I try to like tap into other business, which was Mother's Day. It was right in the heart of the whole COVID. And a lot of event people try doing Mother's Day flowers. Now, there's a difference between doing an event and doing,
Exactly.
regular retail flower shop business, because at an event you want all your roses blown open, you want all your peonies blown open, you want everything to be
Right.
completely perfect.
You've
But
got peanut.
Mother's Day, the arrangement has to last a whole week. So a lot of the event designers were struggling with that sort of um, mentality of, sort of doing a different thing. And that definitely, rings true with what you said, about these young designers. I mean, they're amazing and they do
Yeah.
amazing work. It's so unique, but it's hard to be a florist and
Yeah.
to know, one, processing flowers, funerals,
Right.
touch
So,
on that a little bit.
well, um, half of my business was before COVID, weddings and events.
Yeah.
So I was also creating these events and parties and weddings,
Yeah.
but at the same time running a store with 12 employees. Um, and it was great because it's great exposure all across the board.
Yeah.
But sometimes I felt like I wasn't had the time to do the fun photo shoots or do the really great collaborations
Mhm.
because I had mouths to feed. I have employees, I have rent,
Yeah.
I'm not working out of a kitchen by myself. So sometimes I feel the drawback in having all these responsibilities is not having the fun creative projects. Now I did tap into that a little bit more in the last couple years, which is so fulfilling for me. But I'm just afraid we're going to lose that a little bit moving
Yeah.
forward. And I'm trying to make this retail through COVID experience as, how I say, streamlined and professional as possible,
Yeah.
but also beautiful in through it. So we're taking a very close look at what we are creating on our website as we move forward, new designs, pulling in inspiration from all the different stuff and making it a packageable item that can be delivered and last a week.
Yeah.
You know, back to
Speaking
your
of your
point
web,
about event work translating into
yeah.
everyday arrangements. Right now, that's what we have. We have everyday arrangements and we have tons of plants. Right now, I just read something that the plant buying is up 400% across the country.
Whoa, that's
And
amazing.
luckily, I saw this coming about 3 or 4 years ago and started an infrastructure of bringing in more plants, putting more plants on my website, and hiring 2 horticulturists on staff. So we not only sell plants, but we teach people how to grow plants.
Well,
And that's
it's
part of my
interesting.
personal passion too.
Yeah.
So therein is the diversity I'm talking about is
Hmm.
you got to change. Right now I'm focused on lots of house plants and pots and plant installations. I don't know if you saw my latest plant installation at a giant condo
Love
last
it.
week. Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm blessed to have the experience that I've had of working in greenhouses. I worked for a landscaper for a while, so I knew the ins and outs of doing plantings. And yes, that involved mowing lawns, but still that allowed me to do this other stuff. So
Yeah.
one thing I would say is don't turn an opportunity down, even if it's not going to look good on your Instagram
Yeah.
or if it's not your color range you're working with that week. Don't pass up an opportunity for more experience.
Yeah, that's great advice.
Yeah.
Really great advice. Speaking of your website, I love your website.
Thank you.
And I love more about your website is your blog. And it's interesting because, and this I think definitely speaks of your character, your blog posts are interesting, but like, you know, 10 ways to support a local florist through COVID, styling plants in your space, a guide to tropical blooms. But you also have on your blog must follows for these Instagrammers for plants,
Oh
for,
yeah,
you know, just floral.
in the community, the
So
support,
yeah,
community.
it's really amazing the way that you cheerlead for these other florists or other designers. I love that.
Well, I know you look at Instagram a lot for inspiration, and I think that's a wonderful platform for that. Facebook or Pinterest is great for inspiration. When I see somebody that's doing something great, I want to highlight that so that they keep going, because I don't know what they're going to make next and how I'm going to react to it and want to either do my own take on it or implement it in a different way. But yes, cheerleader, even though sometimes I don't feel like I've got one, I gotta raise everyone
I'll
around.
always be your cheerleader.
Oh, thank you.
Have any new projects coming up?
Well, like I said, we are focused right now on the retail side of the shop. So I'm working with a lot of local creatives and bringing in local small business, and it turns out to be a lot of women-owned business into my shop. So I have beautiful plant hangers from Jennifer over at Braden Wood. I have beautiful porcelain bowls and pots from local designer Mama Pots. You should follow her. Her colors are great.
Yep.
And I also work with a company in North County, Encinitas, called LBE Designs on beautiful plant stands with the legs and reclaimed teak wood. So we're focused on, yes, selling stuff, but doing it consciously. Anyone can sell anything, right? But
Yeah.
I want to put beautiful product out into San Diego and support the people in San Diego that are making things.
Yeah.
Another great example is this, that yes, we carry cards and cute little lapel pins and stuff, but I work with Paper Anchor, who lives in North Park, and I'm making designs over the weekend, and by the next week she's got a new card out. So
Yeah.
I'm being able to fill up our shop with locals, because
Yeah.
we're all going to get through this together.
Yeah. It's amazing. I love that.
So that is my project right now, is
Yeah.
as we get through COVID, before events and weddings. This is going to be a way for us to survive and make it through this.
Yeah. I love that you're featuring local,
Thank you.
artists and sharing their work, on your website, and selling those products in your store. Carlos, what are some ways that you're showing diversity in our industry, or how do we encourage diversity?
Well, to the last part of that question, how do you encourage diversity? Hire diversely. That is the first step, hire diversely. So my team, I call them my rainbow tribe, because we have a little bit of everybody. I
Love
have
that.
straight, gay, trans, all colors, Latinos, all color, all shades. So it is important to hire diversely and note that your shop is stronger and more interesting if everyone is a little different, because they
Yeah.
bring their own experience.
Flavor.
Yes, they bring it to the table, and my customers, I think, really notice it, because we don't all look alike. We're all different. We have different personalities, but I think we are a subset of the Hillcrest area of where our shop is, and I think that's really important. Now, how to promote diversity in the industry, that is on ourselves. We need to look at who are we championing? Who are we creating in our squad? Is it people that look just like us? I know we're both wearing floppy hats, but I'm doing that. But you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be, snippy about it, but
No,
expand,
it's true.
expand your people that you support. You tag back and forth, or you ask to collaborate with. They don't have to look like you. They don't even have to be your same age or the same sex. But because you never know what you're going to get out of that person, what kind of different point of view, what type of look or textual design you're going to get from them. So I would say expand your circle.
It's great. Love that.
Yeah.
Carlos, thank you so much for talking to us about,
Cheers.
um,
It's been
about
a
your
pleasure.
story. Wonderful.
I also want to say something, a little brown nosing, but I want to thank you and everyone at the Carlsbad Mayish location, because I could not be doing this right now without you, without your great eye for product. I give you guys a color story and you pull the most amazing things. Not only that, there's the follow through with contactless delivery. Your drivers are great. All these things are really important right now. And I want to give it to kudos to you and your team for helping me build a better business and surviving.
Oh,
So
thank you so
Have a
much.
good
Yeah,
day.
we really love our customers. We love you.
It
And
shows.
we want to see you succeed, and all of our customers to succeed, because, we need you guys.
Thank you. We need you
So
to make beautiful things.
thank you.
Big hug from afar.